Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today I'm once more in the Amagi, the tier 8 Japanese battleship. And, well, I just love myself some Japanese battleships. Now, today I'm on the map Northern Lights in the, well, it's called a domination game mode, but it only has 2 capture points. So I'd say it's not the real domination game mode. But be that as it may, we are in a tier 10 battle, as you might have guessed from the title. Now, we have 2 tier 10s, the enemies got 3, we have 3 tier 9s, the enemies have 2, and also our enemies are stuck with a tier 6 ship because people still don't know how to make divisions properly. Well, we also have a very weird division going on here. I mean, if you are that Chimikas, you really have to hate that Benson driver, because you're just screwing him over. Anyway, so is this matchmaking balanced? I don't know. I mean, I'd say they do have the better battleships, they do have the better destroyers, and we might have a slight lead in the cruisers. It's probably down to how people use the ships. Now, there go my first shots. Yeah, they probably are very amazing. And he turned. Damn you. Now, let's take a look at the match overall. I'm a low tier here. And what am I doing? I spawned over there on the eastern flank. I mean, what are the possible options? You can go around here, but you are really far away from anything interesting happening. There is absolutely no reason to go there. I mean, if you're a fast ship, you can try to sneak by or something, but basically you are just taking yourself out of the battle and you aren't in a position to either attack or defend. So there is no purpose in being here. There is this small gap, which allows for a very aggressive assault. Early on in the game, that's pretty much a suicide. You can do some stuff with destroyers. You can definitely scout around here, and you can launch torpedoes through here. But as a slower ship, and I mean even as a cruiser, you can't really attack early on. You can stick here and try to defend, because you don't want enemies sneaking around here. So what a lot of people end up doing is go around here somewhere. Now, if you're going too far, you can also take yourself out of the match, but at least there isn't... I mean, this big island just stops you from even assisting. So with shooting stuff here. It's at least less of a problem around here. But yeah, you don't want to go too far to the edge of the map, I guess. But for now, most of my team is somewhere around here. You see these guys, they're already turning around. They don't want to get farther towards the zone wall, which is actually great. So it opens up in a usual sniping battle, you could say. Now, you also have to be careful if you want any point. Be aggressive that you aren't running into torpedoes, because yeah, plenty of islands for destroyers to hide behind. Now I'm having trouble finding or getting good shots. The enemies aren't really... I mean, they aren't doing me any favors by just sitting there, not moving and showing me the broadside. And, well, why would they, right? So far, I mean, there is the Iowa, but we haven't seen the Montana yet. If you are the highest tier battleship, usually you should try to be at the front. Because let's face it, you have probably the thickest armor, the most hit point. I mean, not necessarily, but probably the thickest armor, the most hit points, and really devastating guns. And if you're closer to the enemy, you stand a much higher chance of hitting. So I'm not saying you should charge ahead and get yourself killed, and you should always think about angling and things. But in a game like World of Warships, it's... well, people will take damage, people will shoot at each other, and it's very rarely that you can absorb all damage with your armor or something. So if somebody's getting shot, it should probably be your battleships. Now our fleet is doing a great job at sticking together. Now we don't have anyone on the other flank, so if they choose to sneak around there, well, we are still close enough to... and you see 2 guys in our cap, they are already calling for help. Of course, the enemy is coming. But as I said, we haven't... well, battleships, they are... well, they aren't at the edge yet. So, as you can see, our fleet hasn't moved too far away. We just engaged in a sniping duel, we weren't committed in pushing. And now there is the rest of the enemy team. They have split up, and while a few have engaged in a sniping duel and they paid the price for being outnumbered so far, the others chose to come somewhere around here. And, well, thankfully, most of our team is still in a good position to defend, and a lot have actually turned around here. Now I'm taking some shots. It's Cleveland. Shots aren't looking that... yeah, okay, they are. Let's face it, those weren't great shots. Now, there is the Montana. And, well, I mean, he is the biggest, baddest battleship in this matchup. So he chose to go all alone. And, you know, in this game, you generally don't want to be all alone. I mean, in a destroyer, it's perfectly fine. And, well, depending on how far the match has progressed and how many enemies are still alive, you sometimes might do things on your own. But I don't know. I mean, I also don't know where he started. It took him quite a while to actually get through here, because this is like the most direct route to us. So he decided not to participate in this engagement. And then he decided to, like, all alone drive straight through here and go for our cap. He's getting some support from. But yeah, I mean, he is now in the front. He is tanking for his team, kinda. But his team isn't really in a position to profit from it. We have some of our destroyers have snuck through and are trying to cap. The enemies over here are now trying to decap. And, well, there is this Baltimore, there is another battleship, and I think a destroyer who is supporting the Montana. But I mean, also, I'm not exactly sure who is shooting. He tried to shoot me and didn't hit so far. And I'm trying not to present too much of my broadside to this Montana, because he can really hurt me. And the North Carolina is still at least at 20 kilometers. He won't get that great shots, hopefully, from this distance. And yes, that hurt a bit. But you see, the Montana, he also isn't really angry. And it's just not what you wanna do. You can't always rely on a higher tier protecting you in this game. Even in a battleship. You see, if I get good hits, I'll hurt him a lot. And that there is no way this Montana should be losing this badly. Now the situation on the offensive side, I think these destroyers, they are still hiding in the cap, trying to do something, but not sure. They can probably defend. These destroyers are also in a position to run away if they want. They are fast and they are sneaky. They could at each point just decide to screw this, we will go back and help here. Which might not be the worst idea, because those ships are slow. If our team just decides not to fight there and they'd come back and help us, then, well, they would be really pointless. Now, we did have a battleship somewhere at this zone wall, and I think he got taken out by destroyer because it just kept driving straight ahead into the zone wall without any support. And yeah, it wasn't any use of us there anyway. Now, I'm still not getting any great shots so far, but we are doing pretty well. This Montana has decided to hide behind an island and be completely useless. I'm not sure what he's thinking. Ever since he drove behind that island, I don't think he has done anything. It's just sitting there. And this island isn't really providing him with cover. So I'm not sure what he is doing at this point. I mean, basically he drove here straight into our cap all alone. He pretty much knew where our fleet was. I mean, we were engaging these guys. They should have seen us coming back. And then he decided to sail straight here, which meant he shot his broadsides to all of our fleet the whole time. And he got obliterated. Now, the little support around here, this is North Carolina. He decided to go all the way around here, and then found out that he had little support, faced like a whole team, and spent just all of this time traveling to his death. And while he is now turned around, I mean, where does he think he's going? It's not like he can run, and it's not like keeping us occupied. I mean, we do commit quite a lot of resources in chasing him down. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, we are still in the lead. We have ships in their cap circle, and again, those are fast destroyers and sneaky destroyers. If they find themselves outmatched, they could still just run away. And this battleship is probably in... It might be in quite a bit of trouble, depending on the destroyers. I mean, we haven't won yet, don't get me wrong, but it's looking pretty great. And I think the enemies, they really didn't do anything with the resources they had. Basically, in the early game, they committed to a long-range engagement where they were missing some of the battleships. They were missing their Montana, who is probably their greatest long-range asset, and the Montana decided to go charge us on his own. And yeah, they really didn't have much team play going on, I guess. And my shooting is, you know, always when I watch my replays, I really think that my shooting is kinda terrible. But you know what? Give me a few years and maybe I'll learn. And somewhat I'm still really doing great in games generally. Okay, it depends on your definition of great.
Our team has taken the lead. Battle ends in 5 minutes.
And I was really getting frustrated I mean, I've considered a long time ago just turning around and doing something else, but I don't know, I got really frustrated and I just wanted this battleship to die. So I guess he has that going for him. And yes, really, we are committing way too many resources probably in chasing him down, but you know, we have someone intercepting this battleship, and I probably should have checked sooner if he doesn't need help, because I could have just, like, turned my ship around. But yeah. I guess they managed quite fine. So, I have not even scored a Citadel hit so far. I got only 50 hits, and, well, 50 hits with those guns, they do hurt quite a bit. I got one in capacitation. But yeah. What I've done is I have just followed my team in the beginning, engaged in some long-range fire. I have not gone too far away. I've always stayed in a position where I can react because we didn't have anyone on the other flank. Now, unsurprisingly, enemies came around the flank where we had nobody, but our team, or most of our team, reacted quite intelligently. So, as a team, we went back. Except a few people who stayed here, but it's not like we just continued pushing or ignoring it. We went back, we defended. We pretty much took out their Montana pretty easily because he didn't have a lot of support, and the way he just decided to charge us, he was showing his broadside for most of the game. And, well, I guess he probably got a few good hits in. But, you know, that's not... the end, that didn't matter. Now, all that is left are 2 destroyers and a battleship. And it's both of their tier 10 destroyers. They both got a kill. They're not exactly sure what they were doing so far in this match. And now they might just try to cap us. So I'm going for the enemy cap point, but I'm going the long. I mean, there are still 2 minutes left, and I figured if everybody was now driving away from A, they might just come in and manage to cap us, which would really suck. So, yeah, now I probably can just go here for B. If I don't run into them, then they probably aren't around here anyway. There is a lot of flaming and discussion in the chat going on. Has been from beginning, actually, I think. Someone complained from the very first minute that the teams are unbalanced and that our team is so much weaker. Because I think he called the Des Moines the worst tier 10 cruiser. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any tier 10 ships, so I can't really judge that. But I haven't heard anything of the sort. Oh, wait a moment. There is a destroyer here. And... well, maybe he was going for our cap circle. Yeah. You don't want to find a destroyer so close. I get hit by 1 torpedo, I get hit by 2. Maybe I could have avoided one of those. And, you know, he has by now launched all of his torpedoes. Seems like. So... I think I'm gonna win this battle, you know. There is someone assisting this guy. Probably the other destroyer. Well, that was nice. It gave me a kill. Thanks for the free XP. It's appreciated. And there we go. We won. Now let's take a look at the results. I managed to do quite well in my team, actually. But, you know, some of that was just down to the fact that the destroyer came around the corner in the end and gave me a kill, which is pretty nice of him. Now, when we look at the enemy team, the destroyer who survived at year 10, he doesn't have that much experience. He probably, maybe he could have done more. I mean, if you survive and you are having a very bad game, you gotta question yourself if you should have played more aggressive. Or at least that's what I usually do. I haven't watched him, so I can't really tell much. This North Carolina in the enemy team, he looks like he played really well. Haven't followed him. Since he is the one who survived, he wasn't one who just decided to charge with no support. So I guess, is that going for him? Probably played well. The Montana, he did really well. But in the end, he charged on alone and he didn't really angle very well. Just imagine if he wouldn't have thrown his broadside and if he would have had support, they probably would have killed us all. So, there is that. It's the tier of your ship might make quite a bit of difference, but you have to use your ships correctly. You have to play together as a team. And I think my team, once again, we played well together. And the enemies, they just split up and died in small groups. So, hope you enjoyed watching this battle. Even if, once again, it wasn't one of the most spectacular ones. And I'll see you guys next time.